Okay, welcome Jack of all trades. You see that grout line and crack? It's a step crack. It runs right down there. Today we're going to repair that. We're going to show you how to repair that. That's caused by moisture and the soil changing. It's not causing any damage inside the house, so it's just a normal step crack. So we're going to grind that out, fix it. Tools you're going to need a bucket, sponge, safety glasses, chisel. It's a 2 3/4 inch chisel. Knife, metal one for the putty. This important, you need Quikrete, permanently sealed and waterproof, textured for tuck point. It has to say tuck point on it. It's gray. It's to fill in the grout lines. You're going to need yourself a tool like this or a piece of hose. You just run this along the grout line to when you're done, when it's done setting. And a sledgehammer for the chisel, small one. You need yourself a grinder, and this is the most important piece, is the masonry grinder wheel. This is 4 1/2 inch by 1/8, just your typical metal grinder. I got this on sale for 30 bucks, and I'm going to some type of air, compressed air, or I'm just going to use my blower to clean out the dust once I'm done grinding, and a shovel to move the dirt around the area. So what we're going to do is we're going to prep the area. We're going to remove some of the dirt around the blocks, and then we're going to start grinding it out. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you want to take a shovel and you want to dig down to where the footer is, and you see the crack on the footer. Now I'm going to fill that today. It's a step crack and it runs all the way up the brick like that. So I'm going to grind all that grout out, all the bottom there, and I'm going to seal it. Anything below the soil line I'm going to seal with hydraulic cement, and then I'm going to go underneath the foundation of the house and use a crack injection method to fill that part. And I'm going to use just normal tuck pointing caulking gun to fix the step. Now if this, say next year, this crack gets bigger, what I'm going to do is I'll show you later underneath the foundation I'm going to put a marking between the crack repair, and if it re-cracks and separates, then I'm going to call a professional to come in and take a look at this. But right now, this house is 60 years old, so the foundation looks pretty good, and the doors aren't warped. Neither is the living room, any cracks. So I'm just going to want to monitor this and make sure that, because that's less than, that might be like not even a third of an inch, quarter of an inch, or maybe less than 1/2 centimeter, that crack. So, and I don't want any moisture getting in underneath my crawl space, because I don't have a basement, I have a crawl space. So the idea is just to dig down and inspect where the crack goes, and we see it right there. I already been underneath the house, and that's where the crack's located. So we're going to fill that in, and first we're going to grind it out. What you're going to do is you're going to want to dig with your shovel, and then just get your where is it? Get your blower and just blow the dust away from that area, because you want to see what you're working with. You want it clean too when you start to grind. So you're going to need a compressed air, or just use your regular leaf blower. It'll achieve the same result to clean up the crack. So let's get grinding, and we'll show you what it's like. We'll show you how to grind this, and how to chisel it out, and how to fill it. Okay, just get your standard masonry, your grinder. This is a metal grinder. This one's pretty basic to use. You're just going to push down the button. It's going to lock this from spinning. You just put this on here like this, unlock it, take your wheel, put your new wheel on, just like that. Make sure the logo is facing towards you. Lock it down, and then we're going to be ready to start grinding. It's a lot easier to use than the chisel on the whole crack, so this is going to speed things up a little. There you go. So it looks like when it's installed. Just tighten that lock nut with the key, plug it in, and we're going to start grinding. Okay, so now we grinded the crack out, took it down about 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to get my chisel in there and chisel out the chunks, and then going to grind it a little more. And then once we're done that, we're going to blow it off with our leaf blower or air compressed air, whatever you got. Clean it up, and then we're going to need to put some water on it with a garden hose. Okay, so we just chiseled out, took it down about 1/4 inch. There's the crack in the footer, runs around, Chisel all that out, all that out, all that out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our blower. We're going to blow down the area, get rid of all the dust. Then we're going to need to put water on the area. So we're going to take a hose, which is right there. We're just going to lightly spray down the area and clean it off. And once we've done that, we'll put this in our caulking gun. And then we're going to caulk in the grout lines with this. And then at the bottom, where that footer crack is, we're going to grab some hydraulic cement. So I'll show you how to do the hydraulic cement when we get to that point. But first we're going to fill in that step crack there. So let's get the blower on it, and then let's get some water on it and get it ready to fill. Okay, now that we rinsed the area off with water and we blew it out with the air, like I said, you have an air compressor, you can use it. We're going to need to fill that now. So get yourself some of this Quickcrete for, as I say, gray for tuck pointing. And we're going to fill in the holes, but from the ground, this line right here down to the ground, we're going to use hydraulic cement in here. And inside the house, we're going to use a polyurethane, because this crack here goes down 2 feet into the crawl space. So we're going to fill that with injection kit. But this stuff here is just grout lines to the brick. So, and we got over there to fill too. So basically what you're going to do is, let me just see if I get the camera down here while we do this. Let's see here. Kind of. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. We're going to fill it just like that, and we're going to run it all the way down. I can't do this while I'm filming, so I'm sure it looks like what it's done. Okay, so now that I've put the Quickcrete in there, just like that, I'm going to let it sit for about 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to run this tool over it like that, and down, and it's going to make it look like this, right here. And then down there, you see there's still a crack. I'm going to fill that with hydraulic cement. I got to mix up a batch, and then you got to just stuff it in the hole. I already chiseled that out, and when you chisel out with hydraulic cement, you got to chisel the crack on an angle like this and on an angle like this, so the cement goes in and expands. And there's not a lot of water that gets near this foundation because I have all my east troughs properly drained away, so it's not going to become much of an issue because it's a crawl space, but I'm still going to seal it. So I ran the Quickcrete to that point, and then I'm going to do all that with the hydraulic cement. So that's pretty much it. So that's how you fill the a step crack on your foundation or on brick. It would be the same if you're doing house brick. So you can buy the hydraulic cement in a bucket. All I'll do is I'll show you how to mix it, and I guess it's the first time I've done this, so I think it did a pretty good job. It doesn't match right now, the grout lines, but when it dries, it'll look pretty close to it. So we're going to let that sit for a little bit until it becomes tacky, and then we're going to run our trowel tool over it there. Okay, so I just filled it in. You're going to take this trowel, and once it's done setting, you're going to run it down like this, down like that, all the way down to the bottom. That's tuck pointing. That same as what's just here next to it. That's what they call tuck point. You use this tool. You should have a couple of rags handy, because you do get a little bit of excess. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can wipe off the, clean it up to make it look nice and sharp there. I got some water and a sponge, so I'm going to give it a shot and see if I can crisp up those edges a little. Okay, there you go. It's done. I just wiped down the excess with a sponge. Doesn't look perfect, but you know what? That's sealed, so now we're going to have to fill that crack in there and get some quickcrete. Let's see here. Comes in a bucket like this. This is hydraulic cement. So we're going to have to read the instructions here and mix some. It sets in 3 to 5 minutes, so we're going to want to mix a little batch, just enough to fill that crack. Okay, you're going to take 4 parts of this to 1 part water and mix it in a bucket. So it becomes like a Play-Doh. And you got 3 minutes to get this in, so we're going to fit this into the crack. So, okay, you got less than 3 minutes to work this. You're going to work it into the crack, like so. And as you see already, it's hard as a rock. You got very little time to work with this stuff. So, because it sets really fast. So, that's in there. That's sealed. I'm going to jam some all the way in here too as well. So, and then because that's going to be underneath the dirt line, that's going to produce a watertight seal from any moisture getting into my crawl space. So, anyway, I'll show you what it looks like when it's done when I get it all filled. Okay, so that's what it looks like when it's done. It's all tucked in there. It's like Play-Doh, but it dries like 1 minute to 2 minutes. It's very fast drying. And that'll keep it waterproof from any more water getting in that crack. And that'll dry, and I'm hoping that dries to the color of the grout later. And there's the bucket. You want to use gloves when you mix this stuff. It gets really dirty. If you get any of that quickcrete on your tools, just use a little bit of alcohol. It takes it right off with ease. So, right here, this stuff is going to go a long way. So like I said, 4 parts quickcrete to 1 part water. You can just basically eyeball mix it by hand. I went through one of these already. Got 1 more to go. And I just noticed over here, I got a crack running here. So I'm going to grind this all out, dig down there. I'm going to fill this up too. That's I'm not going to cover that in this video. Same idea with the quickcrete. Now I got to get underneath the house there, and you're going to repeat this step under the house as well to repair the crack on the inside as well. So, but the only difference is this crack here. I'm going to inject it with some of that injector kit. It's like a seal kit you buy. It cost me $80 for the 2 tubes of this stuff. It's like poly something, chemical, whatever, like filler. And you're supposed to put quickcrete concrete over the gap, put these little tubes in, and then pump and inject the crack with this filler. So I'm going to do that from underneath the house. And I'm just going to use this dirt here as to seal up the 1 crack while I inject it on the inside out. So that'll solve that problem. So it's not the best job, but you know what? Not bad for the do-it-yourselfer. I'm sure I probably would have been charged $300-400 to do this repair. So it only cost about $70-80 for the materials. So once we're done, I'm just gonna put the dirt back, and we're gonna go underneath the house, and I'm gonna do the repair under the house. And you'll see the same crack underneath the crawl space there. But instead of showing you how to do the step crack, I'm just gonna show you how to do the injection of the crack on the footer. There you go. Dirt's back in its place. So I don't think that looks too bad of a repair. So anyway, do it yourselfer if you want to fix a step crack. That's how you do it. So most people would dig under the ground to the footer, but for me I dug right down to the footer and filled it right up. So it's done properly. So I just thought I'd show you the end result there with the dirt back in. Okay, so now we're going to go underneath the house. Let's see what we got here. These are like $30-something each. You can pick them up at Home Hardware. It's like flexible polyurethane grout. And you put these little tubes in. And you put down the hydraulic cement. And then you inject each one until you get all the way up to the top of the crack. So this is what we're going to do for the footer. Comes with a pair of gloves, which you should wear. Comes with these. Now, I could have bought the kit for $89, but I got 2 of these for the price of 1 by buying them separate. That's the name of it. Silk Fix. And I went to the store and I bought $7 worth of tubing. I bought the, this is what I'm going to do. This is the trick to save money. 1/4 by point. But you're not going to see it because it's going to be in the crawl space. So I'm going to go underneath the crawl space right now. I'm going to get all the tools under there, the light, extension cord, the grinder, chisels, and then we're going to work our way from the inside out now. Okay, so now we're underneath the house. I just grinded out the step crack. Dusty down here. And I grinded this out. You're going to want to grind in and in, because hydraulic cement needs to be cut in a V shape. I'm going to take my drill. I'm going to drill a hole here, and a hole here. When I'm done that, I'm going to fill it with hydraulic cement. Put my tubes in here, and then I'm going to fill this crack with that injection crack mold stuff. And then I'm going to fill this up with hydraulic cement. I'm not going to use the grout in the gun because you don't see this. So, God, it's really dusty. You see the dust in the air? Fuck. Anyway, I'm going to do that right now. I'll show you what it looks like that in there. And then cement around it. I should be able to fill that crack with that injection stuff. So, put a hose in there, hose in there, hose in there. And then attached to this hose here with that end. So I gotta go get my caulking gun. Left it upstairs, so freaking dusty down here. Ugh. I'd be surprised if this job actually costs about $400 or $500 to do. So this is not a nice job. Anyway, I'll be right back once I get the. Actually, first I'm gonna mix up some hydraulic cement. And I'm gonna insert this tube in there. And by the time I get back, it should be dry. So we're gonna do that. And continue. Okay, so I just mixed up some hydraulic cement. It dries really fast. I put the tubes in the crack, and I ran the hydraulic cement up and around, and sealed all my grout cracks, same as what's outside. So that should be watertight, I hope. You know, and I'll monitor it. Next year I'll come down here and take a look again, make sure everything's looking good. So I'm gonna go get my caulking gun, and time I get back, that's already dry, rock hard, and I can just fill my that crack filler in those tubes. You can actually buy a kit, but this is a cheap way of doing it. You can buy those individually for like 25 bucks, 30 bucks, $6 for the hose. So you get the idea. I bought 2 of them, but I brought my blower down to blow out all the dust and water. I got extra water bottles there. So this is quite a project. So let me go get the caulking gun and we'll start filling those up. I gotta go back out. I forgot it. It's up in the garage. Okay, so we just injected it from the bottom till it came out of here, and out of here, and out of there. And that's basically going to fill up the crack. So make sure you wear gloves when you do this. And there's the gun. So I wish I had caps to put caps on here, but don't worry about that stuff. It's coming out of the hole there. Let's see if I can cap these off. Okay, I just put my fingers over those holes. So that way it expands in the crack. And it's coming up through that one there. I'm not too worried about it if it's messy, because this is all hidden anyway underneath the crawl space. But at least I know that crack's going to be sealed. So I'm sure there's you can get a kit for this, but you know what? This is a cheapy way of doing it. Achieves the same result. Same type of chemical that they use. Right there. I bought 2 of these tubes. Obviously, I'm not going to need the second one because it's not a big crack. So, but like I said, this stuff's poisonous, so make sure you wear gloves when you handle this stuff. So that's pretty much it. So there you go, hydraulic cement. Grind the crack. Make sure you grind it in a V shape inward, because hydraulic, you want it like a inverted V, so it expands into the crack. And then you want to put some hydraulic cement on the outside patch. Put the tubes in. Put your gun in. Squeeze from one tube to the next and that should be pretty much it. What a mess. Ugh. So anyway, thanks for watching Jack of All Trades. Please subscribe, leave a comment. And like I said, this is just a repair job. If this opens up again and my house starts to move the foundation, then I will be calling a professional. Then they're going to have to dig it up, you know, probably about $8,000 to $10,000. But this is basically preventive maintenance, because once water gets into the crack in the concrete, it'll just expand and more damage will happen. So you want to seal it. And as a homeowner, you want to keep on top of things. You know, if you see some wood rotting on your roof, you want to fix it right away. If you see a crack, you want to fix it right away. So, hope this video is informative for those that want to do this. You want to walk around your house foundation and take a look for cracks every year, and keep on top of this, and you'll save yourself thousands of dollars. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.